children. You know I hate it when you fight.
Lucifer Season 5 Part 1 ended on an unexpected note with her special appearance that left us wondering where all of Michael's scheming will lead Lucifer, Amenadiel and their friends. Like this, there are many things going in the finale of Season 5 Part 1. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. So Season 5 starts after the exact moment at which last season ended, where Lucifer is back in hell and we see that Amenadiel is in charge of Lux and raising his son Charlie. As there have been only 2 months on Earth, but down in hell, it is equivalent to hundreds of years.
You're here!
Yes, I got a bit bored, so I thought I'd pop back up.
And now there is an entry of Michael, who is the brother of Lucifer, and he looks exactly the same. And he do many bad things on Earth, and obviously Lucy goes back to Earth. So many things happen between episodes, so I will jump directly into the finale. At the beginning of the episode, we see Lucifer desperately reach out to Amenadiel in an attempt to go back in time and if possible, save Chloe before she even got kidnapped. Unfortunately, for Lucifer though, Amenadiel's power haven't returned, not after he exerted himself to save Linda. Lucifer is also not aware that Mazikeen is upset with him and that she doesn't want to talk to him, so he even reaches out for her help. From here, two Mazikeen switches sides, helping Michael in an attempt to bring Lucifer down. The episode switches gear too swiftly and leaves us scratching our heads. Now what? This is the question that this part of Season 5 will leave viewers with. After Amenadiel is unable to help, Lucifer puts all of his effort in finding real killer. Despite losing his mojo, he puts all his time into investigating the serial murder case from scratch. Maze also calls truce until they can find Chloe, but she doesn't hide her anger from Lucifer. As the two makes way through the investigation, we learn that Chloe was not really kidnapped by the killer, but by Lucifer's twin brother, Michael. He doesn't hurt Chloe, but uses the opportunity to further muddy Chloe's relationship with Lucifer. Initially, Chloe is extremely confident about her relationship with Lucifer, but the moment Michael finds out her weakness, he ensures that he manipulates it. The fact that Lucifer hasn't said I love you has been niggling Chloe, but she had thought that she had managed to bury the doubts deep within. However, when Michael taunts her about the relationship with Lucifer, all of this resurfaces. In the meantime, Lucifer with Ella's help manages to find the real killer. He also finds out that the real killer is not the one to have kidnapped Chloe. Maze, on the other hand, finds Dan and bring him to Lucifer. Initially, Dan overreacts and wants to get as far as away from Lucifer as possible. By the time Lucifer calms him down and gets details about how Dan found the truth, it became clear that Michael is the one responsible for everything. So after speaking to Dan, Lucifer manages to find the cave that Chloe is held at and he rushes alongside with Maze and Dan to rescue her. However, by then, the damage is already done. Chloe's doubts have surfaced and there is nothing that Lucifer can do except say that he loves her. However, before he could confess it to her, time freezes. It doesn't just fast forward or backward, but completely freezes. Lucifer realizes that this is Amenadiel's fault, and that's when we realize the gravity of Amenadiel's situation. He was scared out of his wits to have been able to stop the time. Not only did Michael manage to manipulate Chloe's fear, but he also used Amenadiel's son Charlie. When Charlie got sick and his temperature roses to 107, Amenadiel took him to the doctor to find out that it was just common cold and can be sorted out pretty quickly. One would assume that this is good news, but that is not the case for Amenadiel. He cannot see his son grow up to be a human who would face pain, fear and death like other humans do. And the one who made Amenadiel realize what his son common colds really means is none other than Michael. He managed to manipulate Amenadiel to have time stop, manipulated Chloe's fear to result in another misunderstanding in the relationship, and he even went to extent of making it seem as if Lucifer doesn't appreciate Maze. He also promises a soul for Maze, whose eternal fear had been to be left alone. He uses the time freeze to get Amenadiel to mess with Lucifer. However, Amenadiel ends up shaking out of it. He and Lucifer teams up against Michael, but surprisingly, Lucifer sees Maze take his enemy's side. While the rest of the world is at the standstill, angels are seen squabbling like spoiled brats, so the only one who seems capable of stopping this sibling fight that is being waged on earth is none other than their father, Almighty God.
Children, you know I hate it when you fight.
Did Michael plan it to see his father and speak to him? We did hear from Amenadiel that things at Silver City has changed and that Michael was the one who served by his father's side now. So is the appearance of God an extension of Michael's plan? If so, what does he hope to achieve? Comment down below your thoughts over it, and if you like the video, hit the like button and press the subscribe button also. Peace.